Hi ladies, it's Kristen and I'm here for my 22-week update. I'm actually like 22 weeks and 4 days right now because frankly I totally forgot to do this update earlier in the week. It's been a busy week but not like a hectic week really. I've gotten a lot done at home, which makes me really happy. But I've been kind of catching up. So let me see. Let me just talk first about pregnancy symptoms this week because that's the important thing, right? So 22 weeks, I'm feeling really good. I'm definitely feeling tired, but it's not like all day fatigue. It's more like actually right now it's almost lunchtime as I'm recording this. And usually like after lunch, I definitely hit that lunchtime slump. I went into town yesterday for prenatal appointments and to help with some filing and paperwork, and like when I walked into the office it was like about 12:30, 12:40, and I was just, I felt so exhausted after driving into town, which is not terribly stressful or anything, at least not at this time of the year. And I really think I'm to the point where I need to start prioritizing making an afternoon nap happen. It might not be able to happen every day of the week, but I do think I can make it happen most days of the week. So that's something I want to start doing, and I think that that will help. Otherwise, I feel pretty good, pretty happy. I'm feeling the baby move tons, which makes me so happy, like rolling and turning and just lots of movement, which is really reassuring for me. One thing that I've had more with this pregnancy, maybe not than the last few, but definitely more than with my first few babies so many moons ago. I feel more worry, just more anxiety, even though I know I'm doing everything right. I mean, I run a natural birth website. I write and teach about healthy pregnancy all the time. I'm a student midwife. So I know I'm doing most things right, but I'm super critical of myself when I don't do things right. Like yesterday, I ate lunch a little late. This morning, I never had a morning snack, and I kind of fuss at myself for that more mentally, but I also worry more just because at this point I've seen a lot more, not even necessarily as a student midwife, but more just as a mom and as a woman who's gotten older and has more friends who have had babies, friends who have lost babies. You hear about people who have lost babies. In one of my online communities, a mom posted a picture of her baby that she just had, who was only like a couple weeks ahead of me in pregnancy. And so you see this tiny little preemie, and it's just, there's more worry, I feel like, for me this time around. And so that's something I have to try and keep my anxiety levels in check. And I feel like also doing the rest in the afternoon will help that, because one of the things that I do is I usually listen to Hypnobabies tracks. I bought Hypnobabies when I was pregnant with my fourth baby, and they revised it, and so I bought the updated, I think, for my sixth baby. And I've listened to those recordings throughout pregnancy, usually starting about this time, 20 to 24 weeks or so. They have like an extended suggestion where you listen to like every track for 2 weeks instead of one, because usually it started a little bit later. But I just find them really relaxing and really affirming. And I had some anxieties in my last pregnancy about preterm labor, so I actually bought their MP3 for preterm labor, and I listened to that a lot. I don't feel that same level of anxiety right now, at least not yet. But again, it's just really affirming. Carrie Tushoff is the woman who created Hypnobabies. She does all the narrations, and I find her voice to be pretty soothing. So I'll probably try and listen to those because, again, I think they help affirm in my subconscious at least that everything's going well, and knowing that I'm getting that rest that I need is helpful for me. So, aside from that, some fatigue, but more related to I just need more rest and some anxiety, I feel pretty good. I've been much more active, like I shared last week. Scott got me a Fitbit for Mother's Day, so I've been wearing that, and it's been giving me reminders to get up and walk. We've had rain. It's like cloudy and wet and icky outside right now. So I've even taken to like walking around the house more while I'm looking at a book or a catalog or chatting on the phone or something. I've been getting up and walking and just being more active. So I hope to also get back to doing some other exercise. I think I'm going to use the Trim Healthy Mama work-ins again, which I haven't done for a while just because things were so hectic for a few weeks there. But I'm going to get back to working on those things or doing that probably once a week for a couple of weeks and then up to a couple times a week. And maybe see if I can squeeze in some prenatal yoga here and there just in the mornings. I find myself a little bit more hesitant about those kinds of things because I always did them when Scott was at work before, and now he's home all the time. So, it just feels a little bit self-conscious to do it where there's an audience other than small children. But I really do want to be more active than I've been. I think it's good for me and it's good for the baby. So, yeah, I want to do more exercise. Let's see what else has been going on. I've noticed for sure that, like, the baby's big enough now where sitting on the couch and stuff in the evenings, I have to, like, sit up sometimes, or it starts to feel uncomfortable to breathe, or even lay down on my side. We finished watching Downton Abbey, so we don't really have anything to watch right now. So that's probably a good thing because it means that I'll be able to do some reading and stuff like that, or maybe get up and walk. Those sorts of things in the evening instead of always sitting there in front of the TV. But otherwise, I'm trying to think. There was something else that I think I wanted to share, like pregnancy symptom-wise, and I can't remember right at this moment what it was. I'm trying to think. I don't remember. Maybe it'll come to me. So one of the things I wanted to share, I can't remember if I told y'all last week or not, that the midwife, my supervising midwife, and she's also my midwife, but she's my supervisor as a student midwife, she and one of the senior students got together and put together a birth kit for me, because sometimes we have moms donate the parts of their birth kit that they never used, and I thought that I would show that to y'all this week because I happen to have it close, just so that you could kind of get an idea. And I'll talk more about this as it gets closer because it's really way too soon to be thinking about a birth kit, but I still think it's fun. So, these are just the sort of things that are in a home birth kit. And I'll show you, I guess, the things that I think are really needed. And I can also tell you what we use other things for, like things that are in there for the midwife, in case you wonder why are those there. So these are peri bottles, and if you have had a hospital birth, they probably use these in the hospital too. We use them for two reasons. One is to put olive oil in, which can be used on the perineum while the baby's being born if you're having a land birth. And then also we use the olive oil to put a little bit on the baby's bum after the baby comes, because it keeps meconium from sticking to the baby's bum. The meconium is that first poop that the babies have. It's black and tarry. And then the other one we use is after you've given birth and you're going to the bathroom, put a little bit of warm water in it while you're going to the bathroom, and it can help in case there's any stinging or anything. So I feel like peri bottles are a great thing to have in the birth kit. Then we have, these are mesh panties, which I think if you've had a hospital birth, you are also familiar with, or if you've had a home birth. I think people don't realize that you can get these for home births, but I love them. So they're just like kind of a one-size-fits-all mesh, and you can put a pad in them postpartum, and they work really well. You can wash them a few times, or you can just throw them away. But they're nice and stretchy and really nice. And then this is a little baby hat in here, which I don't like putting hats on my babies right away, but if it was needed, it's there. This is something else I don't like using right away, but that's a bulb syringe. So we almost never suction babies anymore. So the bulb syringe usually stays in its package. It's not evidence-based to suction babies at birth. Even with meconium, the NRP guidelines say it's not really evidence-based anymore. It can cause problems. So you only suction if absolutely needed. So usually we leave these with the parents, because sometimes in the early days postpartum, a baby can get really gunky as they bring stuff up. And so it's nice to have that on hand. So those are the more practical things. This is blue pads, also called, I've always called them Chuck's pads. They're kind of similar to like puppy training pads. And these are just to go under you, like, while you're laboring. So if you're walking around the house and you're worried about your water breaking or something, you can have them under you, or put one on top of your birth ball or something like that. And then postpartum, we usually put one under the mom, which is good in case a pad leaks or something. So those are really handy, I think, to have. I also like, in the early days when I'm nursing my baby, I like to have one laying kind of horizontal under me and baby while we're nursing in the bed, because often once my milk comes in, there's a lot of leaks, and it helps protect the bed. After a few days, I usually stop using these, and I put like a large pre-fold diaper under us for the same reason, but I usually keep sleeping with something under baby and I, just to account for leaks in the night, because I usually don't wear like a bra or anything with a breast pad in it to bed. So I want something that'll catch the leaks. These are just alcohol prep pads. They have nothing to do with the birth. We use them for cleaning up afterwards, or if we need to wipe something down before we use it, like a thermometer probe or something. So that's for cleaning. Then there's gloves. These gloves that we send in the birth kit are actually gloves for the midwife to use if she needs to check you during birth, which I haven't been checked in a lot of babies. I don't like being checked. I probably won't want to be checked with this baby. But also when she checks the perineum after birth, which I always like to have somebody check and tell me what's gone on down there. But these are sterile gloves, so she uses those. You can't see them because they're wrapped in a sterile wrap, but ours are green. Oh, and there's some that are single and some that have two gloves. And again, they're sterile, so. Then there's gauze pads. These are mostly used again when we check the perineum. So the gauze is used to help gently clean or gently move aside tissues so that we can check. So that's what's in that birth kit. They got almost everything in there. The only thing, let's see, the only things that weren't in there were a mattress bag, which is a bag to put over the mattress, and an herbal cord care, which I have some of that still from Sadie's birth, and I'll see if I can hunt it up to show to y'all and to talk to you about. And the other thing is it's a fracture pan, which they actually did give me, but it didn't fit in this little box, and I didn't bring it over here. I don't see it right away, but that's just a pan to catch the placenta in. A fracture pan or a bed pan, but it's not like one of the ones that looks like a kidney bean. It's bigger, so you can put the placenta into it. So that's what's in a home birth kit. It's not really a whole lot. Now you get some other things together from around the house, which we'll talk about more as I go along, but towels and baby blankets are the biggest things of importance out of all of that. And then if you have a water birth, there's a lot more too. I'm actually going to teach a class on water birth tomorrow where I talk all about water birth supplies, so I've got those on the brain. If you're interested in watching that class, even if you don't make it live, you can check that out. It's at naturalbirthandbabycare.com/SMG-waterbirth. SMG stands for Smart Mama's Guide. And so it's SMG-waterbirth. Waterbirth is all one word. But I've been doing tons of research on water birth lately. I've already had 5 water births myself. I'm planning a water birth for this baby. I've assisted at a lot of water births. I find water birth to be a really interesting topic to talk about. So that's what I'm going to talk about on that class tomorrow. But otherwise, let's see. I'm feeling, like I said, I'm feeling really good. I still feel like my bump is in that cute stage. I love feeling the baby move. It's probably my favorite thing ever right now. Really treasuring it. And yeah, I guess other than those anxieties that I have, like about, is the baby okay? Am I doing everything right? Like, am I getting too out of breath too easily? Or those sorts of things are things I worry about. Everything's good. Oh, one thing I did want to tell y'all was I had said that we were going to do some baby gender tests, and I haven't gotten around to doing them because I feel kind of conflicted. Like, I know they don't tell you for sure. They're just old wives' tales, which is what I was telling myself before. But now I find myself, yeah, maybe I don't even want to do one of those. Maybe I don't even want to think about it. So I don't know. I still have my little bit of red cabbage leaves, and we've still got the powdered Drano crystal stuff. And, the other things are easy because there's the ring test and all that. But I haven't done any of it. I know Cassidy still wants to help me do those, but I'm not sure yet. I don't know. Maybe we'll get to the point where it feels kind of silly to do it. We're past the point where most everybody is finding out because I'm at 22 weeks now. And so it sort of feels like, we're just settling in to wait for the next few weeks, and then we'll find out in the next several weeks. We've got 18 weeks to go. But less to go now than we've already been, which is kind of crazy to think about. So, anyways, I hear children out front having a fit, so I should probably go. I did get a new maternity dress. I also got this one from Poshmark. I really like this dress. I love the other one too, but I really like this one. I think one of the reasons why I really like it is I feel like it looks nice and it gives a lot of support without having to wear an undershirt, which is very nice when you're pregnant. That's another thing I've noticed is I feel hot more easily, and even when other people are starting to get chilled, because we're in a northern Michigan spring, so it's sometimes still chilly, I often feel hot. So I'm loving this. I can just pull this dress on in the mornings. It looks really nice. I think it looks really nice. I've gotten several compliments on it, and it's no fuss, so I really like it. This is a motherhood maternity dress, but I feel like it's really good quality, so I think it retailed for like $40 and I got it for like $15. So that works for me. And it's just nice. So I can't show you like my belly fully because I'm wearing a dress and I'm not going to pull it all the way up. But I can show you my belly over the dress and you can kind of get a feel for the dress. It's a maxi dress, so it's floor length. It's size small, so it's not too long for me to wear around the house barefoot or when we walk the trails to just walk the trails in moccasins. I think I'll try and get Scott to take my picture to go on this video with this dress on so you can see it in full length. But for now, I'll show you my belly. And you can see the dress too. So that's the top of the dress there. And like I said, I feel like it's okay to wear without an undershirt because it's got some nice support. But there's my baby belly. Nice round belly. Definitely sticking out there. Like if I pull it in even now at this point, you know, I can't suck it in enough to hide it. And when I'm just totally relaxed, it's out there a little bit more, but not too much more. So I think it still looks really cute. I like it. I mostly get compliments. I feel proud being out and pregnant, which is nice, because I'll probably start to feel huge before too long. But anyways, again, yeah, good week. Next week, no major things going on, waiting for a couple moms to go into labor, but really I'm expecting things to be laid back, getting to work on getting things organized with the business and the house. I'm excited to be planning the new school year for the kids, which is good because at first I was kind of dreading it, but God's answered my prayers and I'm looking forward to it, feeling a little more excited about it now. So my biggest project for the next week is to try and get Sadie on some sort of a routine after not being on a routine for a while, because if you could hear in the background, she's having some trouble integrating with life. So anyways, and you know, just treasuring, doing a lot of walking, getting the exercise started for me, and taking the naps. But otherwise, kind of taking it easy and just living life. So I will talk to y'all next week, and I hope you all have blessed weeks.